let's still stay on health and on what borders on medical negligence. So there's a lot of public anger following news of how a critically ill patient was left to die in front of the Korle-Bu Polytechnic due to delays by nurses and doctors there. The story shared by the niece of the deceased indicates that nurses at the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital had earlier refused to attend to the emergency case, demanding a referral letter. That story has since gone viral on social media, with many sharing their experiences in hospitals as well. We'll be reading some of those comments, but first, here is a news desk report.
He had been receiving treatment there earlier, like 2 weeks before. He was admitted at Korle-Bu for a few days. So we thought it wise to go back there since
Selam's uncle was critically ill. He was too sick to walk and had to be carried in a wheelchair. He struggled to breathe. The first port of call for Selam and his family was the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital. A desperate niece needed health care for a loving uncle.
The situation got worse at home. So we weren't coming from any hospital. We just drove straight from home to the emergency place at Korle-Bu. And then one of the nurses in front there was like, "Where's your letter?" And I didn't know what letter they were talking about. So I asked her and she said referral letter.
The family did not have this referral letter. They set out to go look for one, this time to the Korle-Bu Polytechnic. But over here too, the story was not any different. No treatment for uncle.
So we're just standing waiting to see if someone would attend to him. So about a minute, I saw there was no action. So I went back to the nurse's station and then I asked, "What do we do now? What's the next?" And he said, "I have to go and pay and get a folder and whatever." So I asked for that. They showed me one cubicle like that. So I just went there. And then when I got there, the lady there was on the phone. And I was like, "I have an emergency case." And what she told me was, she's on the phone. I said, "I have an emergency." So my dad saw me like agitated. So he walked there. And then the lady told the person on phone that, "I'll call you later." He was really struggling to breathe. Like every breath he takes, he moans. So all of us were worried. So my cousin was actually with him whilst he was in the wheelchair, holding him, trying to calm him because he was really struggling and it was very frustrating for us. So I gave the folder to the nurse and I was expecting them to do something.
Selam's uncle could not hold on any longer. He died.
And the doctor was still insisting that the referral letter would take too long, so we should take him to another hospital. I was like, okay, cool. And I made calls to, I have friends who are doctors too in like different hospitals. So I called one who works at 37 and he was like, we should immediately rush him to the emergency place at 37. So we started actually trying to move to 37. So we wheeled him back to the car and then we were just carrying him from the wheelchair into the car. Then I felt like he had gotten limp all of a sudden. So at that particular point, I knew he was gone. So we just wheeled him, we put him back in the wheelchair.
Selam's story has triggered a lot of anger on social media. Many Ghanaians are now sharing painful stories of how their family members died as a result of negligence by nurses and doctors. I read one of them of a pregnant woman who died because the nurse would not call in a doctor.
2 years ago, a friend lost his newly wedded wife when she was going to deliver because of the actions of one young nurse. When the time was due, we realized that she couldn't do it naturally, so we pleaded with the nurse to call the doctor on duty for a CS. The nurse told us that she does not take instructions from patients. Besides, it was her first time, so we should walk out from her yard so that my friend's wife could give birth. About an hour later, we saw the nurse running up and down with some items. I won't continue anymore. They came out and informed us that we lost her. My friend collapsed immediately. I nearly killed that nurse. Rest in peace, Ella.
And there are many more of such stories questioning the professionalism of personnel working in some of Ghana's medical facilities.
talking about professionalism of health workers. Mind you, they're standing between, they put you between life and death, if I should put it that way. That's if you're removing the religious perspective. Well, joining us over the phone for a brief conversation is Dr. Justice Yankson. He's the Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association. Dr. Yankson, thank you very much for your time here on The Pulse.
Thank you. Most welcome.
Now, this isn't the first time we're seeing or hearing about medical negligence as we speak. What is the association's initial reaction to this? And by this, I mean a man who has just died because of someone's inaction, something that was so avoidable.
Well, I think we started this way. I don't want us to let it look as if we are trying to discharge the marriage or otherwise unfortunate situation that may have happened. I don't want us to go on that line where some belief, family, relatives may also want to have some time to reflect on events and all that. So I don't want us to personalize it, but rather let's look at the general. I think that your conclusion, you guys have picked up certain things and we need to correct them. There are two key things at play here. We are talking about the systemic failures or the failures associated with the sort of health system we are running in terms of investment and what have you. That is entirely different from professionalism of the health personnel. Yes, professionalism of health personnel is very important, but if you don't take time to mix the two up, clearly what has been narrated and some of the comments that have come on social media, whether on the inadequacy or ill-preparedness of the health system generally for emergency. Our medical emergency care is one that we cannot applaud.
Well, actually, if you look at the comments quite critically, and if you listen to the story that we just played, the news desk story that we report that we just filed, most of the comments or some of the comments are really not about the system per se. Sometimes, and the people are narrating their stories, their experiences with nurses, for example, who are on the phone when there is an emergency case at hand. I mean, that is obviously not the system as much as it is of professionalism.
You see, sometimes at the workplace, it is very easy for an observer to think that the health professional out there is improved, living professionally. But that might not be the situation. These same systemic problems that I was talking about have a backflow effect on the conduct of the profession. Go to our hospitals and see whether you have official phone lines available for people to use, or pages or beepers as we call them. None of these things exist in our facility. It's even very difficult to make situations for one hospital to link up with another. So most times, if individuals within the health facility want to communicate, they'll have to find their own mobile phone, buy their own service, and call another professional colleague of theirs, purely for professional purposes. But at that point, they think he or she was on his private phone. I'm not saying that at all instances that is the situation. There are times that you may find one or two people on their own private phone, but you may be talking to somebody on my private phone. But technically speaking, I'm talking to a police doctor, probably about even your case, because I want them to more or less take over that case because the facilities for seeing that patient may be in their department and not in my department. Right.
Dr. Yankson, I can very well understand that point. I can very well understand it, but I'm looking at the situation, and it really comes back to professionalism because, and I'm coming to find out from you, when you're on the phone, and it doesn't matter how bad it is, how bad the situation that you're dealing with on the phone is, and someone is dying. I mean, it's an emergency situation, and the person is right in front of you, and you can do something to save the person's life. What do you do? I mean, in terms of your work ethic, I don't know. What do you have to do?
Well, generally speaking, within the limitations of the constraints that we all have, we all do our best to save the patient. It is the patient first. But you see, sometimes when the patients come in, they also need to be a bit patient with the health professionals support. For a place, say, like the teaching hospital, there are various departments and there are various specializations. So if you find yourself, say, at a polyclinic, for example, the level of sophistication in terms of the facilities available to help treat patients will not be the same as, say, in the medical emergency or, say, the medical department, for instance. So at that point, where the health professional clearly sees that, look, in this case, where you are, you don't have the resources to take care of this patient, but you rather would need to move to another location. I think the relatives to understand that.
Okay.
Most times, what we do is that where we see that, look, within the constraints, we do what we call resuscitation, just to keep you going before you move on. So quickly go into it.
Okay.
If you listen to Salom's case at some point, you were talking about the doctor saying that, look, the referral processes and all that may even take a longer period. Meanwhile, what it says to me is that at that point, they also didn't have enough to even probably resuscitate or maintain the particular situation they found.
But he says that when he went to the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital, for example, they were asking for a referral letter.
They were asking
for a referral letter, which he did not. Which he did not have. Couldn't they?
Which we'll be looking at.
Couldn't they?
System that says that you need to go to the emergency room with, let's say, a referral letter. But technically speaking, you are supposed to walk to the emergency room without a referral. In some cases, a referral might be needed because you are coming from another facility. But when you get to the emergency room, what do? Technically speaking, if there is room, they have to do what we call triaging. And once the triaging is over, if you are a patient that needs to be in the emergency room, they will have to continue managing you. But
can we
go to another location? They will direct you to go.
So can we look at this specific situation where he says they are asking for a referral letter? I don't have a referral letter. They tell the nurse we don't have a referral letter.
This is exactly what I am telling you. These are some of the systemic problems that we all need to deal with. The general principle is that an emergency goes to the emergency room with or without a referral.
Okay.
And because of the fact that Korle-Bu, most of our teaching hospitals as a nation, we don't have enough emergency facilities. The bit where you need a referral to go there has become, in quotes, the prerequisite, because the bed space is small, the facility generally cannot handle a lot of emergencies, the population has outgrown the resources at that facility that was set up some almost 80 years ago and what have you. So the problems we have in there are the sort of things that as a state we should commit ourselves and correct it.
That's like looking at the
medical practice or emergency medical system generally, right down from the home to the referral point and what have you, will have to be looked at again.
Right.
You all recently heard about this ambulance to be or not to be, whether they were bought or not, or whether all these things are adding to the problem. Ideally, if you are being transported in an ambulance with health personnel, there will even be some level of medical support for you while they even transport you alive.
In this specific case that we're looking at, Dr. Yankson, in this specific case that we're looking at, would you, if you were to, would you clear the nurse or would you clear the hospital, whichever authorities that sent him on a chase for referral, would you clear them of medical negligence?
Well, I think that please, with all due respect, going into another realm, negligence is not what a student to say we seem to do the ordinary say negligence to be. In medical practice or in legal language, negligence almost represents a duty of care, a breach of that duty, and a result and damage. And these are things that, technically speaking, you have to be pronounced on by a competent court of law.
Okay.
Medical negligence is a completely different thing. It's a legal terminology and it has its own interest. The law courts have stated that it is not terminus with just careless or let's say even a heedless act. So,
okay.
Yes, there may have been some medical error or lack of professionalism or non-responsiveness and all that. Right, people say all these things. But if you want me to pronounce on whether somebody has committed medical negligence, then unfortunately it cannot be, because without the fact and going through the proper procedure, you cannot just say that somebody has committed medical negligence. They may have committed some errors. I'm not disputing anything. So I wasn't there. I don't have the fact.
Very well.
But what I'm saying is that to pronounce on medical negligence, it is a complex legal arrangement.
That is understood. That is understood. Is the association going to do anything about this particular case study?
Well, if you like? This technically speaking is not a matter for the association. But once we have gotten wind of it, we will also want to engage the facilities where this whole scenario occurs.
Okay.
And then we will see how we can put in some measures to ensure that things run smoothly. But the Medical Association just a couple of years ago had a whole annual general conference on our emergency preparedness. We still followed it up with a public lecture. The emergency preparedness is not even limited to just the medical facility, but even guys from the point of view disasters, from the home and what have you.
Okay.
And these are things the country we need to look at and pay more attention to that aspect of our health system that deals with emergency.
Hold on for me. Let me read through to you some of the comments we have on our social media platform. Let me see if you have a quick reaction to that and how perhaps the association can lead the sort of reforms that you're calling for in the medical arena. So these are some of the comments. Kojo Enyan says this is something our government should be asking America to help with, not military interventions. Innocent people are dying and we're out there asking for security. Ajwa Murphy says, to be honest, the people of this country are the reason we're facing this situation as a country. One thing most people happen to stick with is the fact that citizens fail to recognize any other professional in the hospital. The ones they respect and recognize are the nurses and doctors. As such, these two aforementioned professionals take advantage of the people because of lack of knowledge. Now, my question to Selom is, did you at a point remind yourself to take the names of the doctors or nurses who breached their professional code of conduct? Two, after sending it on Facebook, did you take the sweat to find out the details of doctors and nurses? And you go on and on and on. But let me move on with another comment since we for lack of time. And Hussein Adam says, yes, they are the bad ones. From the reportage, the nurse and the doctor never listened to him. Osei Gideon Kwame says you have to listen to the other side, don't just conclude. And Osei Barahine says it is something which goes on every day in Ghana. Dr. Yanson, let me take a very quick response to some of the comments here. Someone is asking whether or not he took the names of the people involved in this. Perhaps that could help if he wants to build a case of medical negligence based on the description of medical negligence that you've just given us.
Well, the truth is that in every matter like the same, you may need to provide some further and better particulars. So for me, once this has come up, if you are able to put the names, well, he can give the names up so that they also are able to bring out their side of the story. If they were not able to put their names up for whatever reason, I mean, I can appreciate it, because sometimes when you are in that situation, you wouldn't have the time to reflect on wanting to check on some details. Your focus may be on your relatives. So if they can pick it up, the system should also be able to know who and who were on duty at the same time.
Okay.
And all that together, I'm sure we can also have their side of the story, and then we can all interrogate and see where. But clearly, these things are happening out of the systemic problems we had. If we had a well-resourced, big enough emergency room to start off with, I'm sure nobody may even ask for a referral or otherwise. So
and that takes me to my very final question to you: whether or not the association is willing, or what can the association really do to lead or to, you know, champion the cause of dealing with these systemic problems that you're talking about? I mean, I know some of them are deeply rooted, but I'm sure also that the association can do something so that we can deal with the ones that we can deal with.
For us as an association, we've done a lot and we are still working on ensuring that the right things are done.
Okay.
The unfortunate thing is that most of the time we can only advocate, and most times when you deal with the powers that we now prepared, have conferences with them, have meetings, you agree on certain things, and they are not done by way of provision of some of the resources, then it becomes a bit difficult.
Right.
But for us at Korle, we are also almost all the time, especially every year, we do things on professionalism, medical ethics, and the law and all that, just to also ensure that our members are also up to scratch with all the current demands that the law and ethics requires of them.
Okay.
So I think that are very powerful. Every year we do continuous professional educational sessions all over the country.
Dr. Jansen.
And it's very important when it comes to ethics.
Dr. Jansen, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Dr. Justice Jansen there is the Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association. You're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty Andopia. We're taking a very quick break.